Cynics on Disney podcast contains adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
This is the Cynics on Disney podcast, presented by nightclub33.com.
Welcome into this week's episode of the Cynics on Disney podcast. I'm your host, Bobby, a.k.a. the Disney Cynic. And joining me tonight, because Amanda just, you know what, she has a rumbly-tumbly this evening, and that's okay. We're allowed to give her a night off every now and then, is notclub33.com co-founder and co-owner. I don't.
Co-owner.
Really, co-owner. Okay.
Co-owner.
CFO for sure.
Steve's idea. If you really want to know the history of how it all started, I could tell you that, but I don't know how if we all want to hear that right now. So
not yet. Maybe later. We'll see
some
how
other time. Maybe. Yeah,
absolutely. It's Pat Neistat, everybody. So thank you for joining us again today, Pat.
What's going on, guys? Kids.
You know what, man? Every time that I bring you on, it feels like I get super dark and super negative.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah.
And it's because 90% of the time that we bring you on, it's because like something financial has occurred within the Disney company. And usually with financial news comes me getting pissed off at something, whether it's the board, whether it's, oh no, we're going to announce a new attraction that's another intellectual property. And we'll probably get to another intellectual property-based attraction here in just a little bit. But because of that, I want to mix it up a little bit this episode.
Okay. You've
not been down here in a minute, not since December, right?
Yeah.
It was really cold back then.
It was really cold.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Florida.
Yeah.
I'll
just say it wasn't perfect weather, but
no, absolutely not. In fact, I think today, by the way, was April 18th. And I happen to think that this upcoming Saturday, I guess that's the 20th of April, that is kind of like the perfect day. I checked the weather report. And it's going to be like low 90s, which low key down here, it's been cold. It's been kind of chilly here of late.
Ooh.
I mean, I've been just chilling out like crazy, and I kind of am ready for it to, spark back up again in terms of the heat and everything like that. So yeah, it's going to be low 90s. It's going to be partly cloudy though, or mostly cloudy too, in some parts. So that means that there's going to be some shade. You're going to get some sun cover. You just have to be a little bit aware of fog, I guess, in the morning, this time of year, especially because, the humidity is just, it is what it is, right?
So what you're saying is you need to get to higher elevation to get the sun?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely you do. Definitely need to get higher than the 90, how many feet? 135 feet that I am off the ground right now as I talk in Orlando. So, I wanted to talk about something more fun, something more, kind of chill and relaxing and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm down for that.
So I thought about it, and what better way than to say, let's have a perfect, relaxing day over at Disney World this Saturday, April 20th.
Okay.
All right. Cool, man. So, all right. I'll start off. If you're going to talk attractions, right? What attractions would you want to ride on your perfectly chill day like that? I'm going to have to start off with Soarin'.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, that's a good one to start out with. I mean, you're flying high in the clouds.
Yeah.
You got the breeze at your face.
And it's such a sensory feeling. You know what I mean?
It is.
Man, you really feel like you were floating. It's like
But yeah, I would say this: if you want to really feel like you're floating, you go to Flight of Passage. You really want to feel like you're in the clouds and flying and actually soaring through the skies at a high elevation.
And seeing shit that you've never seen before.
Well, you're going to see a lot of cool shit because it's Avatar. So all the animals, you're on a banshee for crying out loud.
Sure.
It's breathing. You feel it breathe. So, I mean, it's crazy. So
that is crazy. to like
It is.
feel something like that breathing. Like, you ever thought
Yeah.
about breathing?
I've thought about it, but
You've
I
thought
don't
about
think
it?
I
Okay, because
I
I've
don't
thought
think
about
too
it
much time
too.
on it.
Like, I don't know. My brain is wired differently than everybody else, so I find weird associations. I like
Uh,
seeing colors and stuff.
yeah, I'm going to agree with you. You are a little bit wired differently than
Yeah,
me, maybe. So,
that's for sure.
but if there's an attraction, like you're talking about colors and stuff like that, what about Winnie the Pooh? I mean,
I
that
don't know, man.
the what's the Humple Woozles or that room when you go
Heffalumps and
into
woozles. The
Humpalumps and
heffalumps
Woozles?
and woozles.
Yeah, that's kind of has a lot of colors and dark lights and stuff like that. So
That would be kind of trippy to see, but also I kind of feel like it's a little bit scary, especially to certain people in certain types of condition, certain ages. You know, I think that might be a little
so you
bit.
don't find that relaxing.
I don't. No, nah. I'm looking for a little bit uh more chill vibe. You know, something that I can drift a little bit on.
Okay, so what about we go back to Pandora? How about
Okay.
the Navi River journey? I mean, you're just cruising on a boat.
Yeah, and I like this idea. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Problem that I have with Navi is that like minutes seem like hours. Like you just be like sitting there and go, this has got to have been like an hour and a half. And no, it's been 30 seconds on that ride. Like it takes fucking forever. And
Yeah.
like all the screens and stuff like that, it really does like mess with my like vision. It makes things all like whoa,
No.
like wobbly a little bit, you know?
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
do appreciate the foliage, you know, that's on a ride like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lot of
lots of
green
greenery.
foliage. Yeah.
Yeah, greenery all over the place. So, I think that like has its merits, but I would say let's find something a little
Okay. I
bit
mean, so
different.
what would you suggest? I mean, something relaxing, easygoing, on this nice, perfect day.
Yeah, I would probably go with like Jungle Cruise because again,
Ooh.
lots of like
Yeah,
greenery all
for sure.
around. Lots of like fog,
Oh,
so you get a little bit of a
but the
surprise here and there.
jokes. But the jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and certainly like on a perfect day like April 20th, right?
Yeah.
You know, those jokes are going to hit like way better.
You would think.
I
Depends on
certainly
the skipper. It depends on the skipper. It could be
it,
great.
it does. And I mean, it also depends on what your mindset is. Like, if you're going in there with like this like open mind, man,
Yeah.
like I feel like this would absolutely like change how because I go into it as somebody who fancies himself somewhat funny, and so I'm sitting there judging the skipper the whole time. Like,
Wait. So you
ooh,
you think you're funny?
yes, on
Okay.
occasion,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. I just
just
want to clarify that.
yeah. I think I'm more clever than funny. I would say
Okay.
it's sort of like Frasier, the show. It's not
Okay.
laugh out loud funny, but
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
like a handful of episodes. But like, oh, you go. I see what you did there. You know, like that's really more me.
Okay.
But that's the kind of joke that you would hear on the Jungle Cruise, is it not?
No, it's exactly what you would hear on the Jungle Cruise.
You
One of
know,
those jokes. Yeah.
so if you're like in the right state of mind, like if you are
Sure.
in the right state,
But
and
let me ask you a question. What is the perfect ride on the perfect day? Well, I'll throw one out. What
go
about
ahead, yeah.
Ratatouille? The food, the smells of food, the
Oh,
visuals of food. You're in the restaurant.
yeah, but it's like
What
a lot of whipping and like all
is
sorts of
whipping?
directional changes. Look, on the perfect day, even on the perfect day,
Hmm.
I'm afraid of getting dizzy and like feeling all kind of woozy and wobbly and stuff like that. That's how I think I would feel immediately after getting off of Ratatouille on April 20th.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So,
Yeah.
what would be your perfect ride on your perfect day?
You know, I feel like I should go with something like a thrill ride, like Mission Space or or Test Track or Tower of Terror, something like that, right? Instead, I'm gonna go like a little bit more relaxing, I think, and go with Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
kind of get that tilting sensation. You get those sensory, uh, things with the aromas burning smell
yeah,
and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
I
It's
mean,
dark, so you don't have to like when it's too light outside. Like I feel like I have to squint like a lot, especially or I'm
yeah.
always wearing sunglasses. And like if you ever see a video of me or a picture of me
hmm
during the day and I'm
hmm
not wearing sunglasses, send help. I've been kidnapped. They've stolen my sunglasses.
Yeah. So, I mean, that ride, it may be the perfect ride for the perfect day. I mean, it's educational as you ascend into
Sure.
space at the end. I mean, then you
Right.
see all the stars, and then you ascend down. I mean, get a
It's
little
got
bit
that
of everything.
it's got that musical accompaniment at the top where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Earth, bam, and then like the music swells in the background. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
That is cool for
it's
sure.
pretty rad. Um,
If I was going to throw another one out there for you, what about living with
please.
the land?
Another great educational tool because I don't think that I would know about hydroponics to the extent that I do
hmm
without the land boat
hmm
ride, which
hmm
again, I'm still confused by why it's a boat ride and it's for the land, but in the seas pavilion, we don't get in the water. Just
I don't know.
I'm blown away by this. I'm just saying, but
Right.
yeah, absolutely. Like that is where I learned about hydroponics. So
There you go.
absolutely the land is definitely a great place to go on a nice relaxing April 20th, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would also say that like on the perfect day, I'm probably going to be pretty hungry,
You'd be pretty
right?
what?
Pretty hungry.
Yeah, for
Like I'm going to
sure.
be wanting to munch on stuff
Oh.
left and right,
Hmm.
So I think that it almost feels like most of this perfect day is going to have to be spent at Epcot, right? Because I mean,
Yeah,
think
but
about it. You also
yeah.
got Flower and Garden going on right now
Right.
for the perfect day, right?
Yeah, but then I would say for me, I go to the American Pavilion and get a turkey leg. That's what I would do.
Again, I feel like in the right state of mind, and I
Jeez.
think that I think that April 20th would bring that state of mind out of me. I might be more open to giving the turkey leg another go. I don't like turkey as a general
Oh,
rule.
really? You don't
Like
like smoked turkey?
honestly, the last Thanksgiving, we didn't have all the family coming down or anything like that. So instead,
Oh,
we just did steaks,
okay.
and it was great. It was delicious. I'd
Sure.
almost, in some ways, I'd almost rather do that. Now, I'm sure, like at some point, yeah, I'm gonna get like a hankering for all the sides and everything like that. But like, I'll let my parents deal with that the next time around because like
hmm
I'm good at making mac and cheese. I haven't. At what other time of year is my fat ass gonna eat a green bean casserole? Never, never.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But
So
okay, if
I'm
you
a
had
little
one,
worried about the
if you
American
had,
Pavilion as a result.
if you had one place to eat, obviously you pick Epcot as a park that you would choose.
Oh
But if
yeah.
you had one place to eat, where would it be?
I have to give two because it is a toss up and it's really like how I'm feeling like in that moment. And I'm gonna go with Via Napoli
Mm.
uh, because like there is nothing like a good pizza when you are just having the perfect day like that,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would say that Via Napoli is probably the best pizza that's on property. They bring in water from somewhere in Pennsylvania to
Really?
use for cooking
I didn't
instead
know that.
of using local tap water. And I think we all know by now, I fucking hate Orlando water. For those of you who don't know, I literally went out and bought one of those office coolers, water coolers, and put that in my home for my drinking water because I won't drink the Orlando water. I can
It's that
barely
bad.
shower in it. It's that bad, man. It
Really?
really is.
Hmm.
So, and it absolutely affects the taste of shit like bread, pasta,
Sure.
anything that you would use like water to help cook, and everything. Yeah, it really does affect it. Like it gives it a weird smell. So,
Really?
and I don't know, maybe it's just because like I'm sensing shit that I shouldn't be sensing or whatever because of something
Sure.
I ate. But that maybe it's some of the spices that I put on some of the food that I'm eating too. But I can smell some weird shit coming off there. And I know it's because of the water.
You think it's the water?
Oh, I know
Got
it's the water. Yeah. 100%. So yeah, Via Napoli is definitely up there for me. I would also say there's something like having a little bit of a show for your
Oh,
dinner.
yeah.
So I would also throw out there Tepanato because, God damn it, like when you are just having a day like an April 20th, like there is something so cool about seeing a volcano onion and a fucking like beating heart of fried rice and stuff. Like that's cool as fuck when you're
Yeah. I mean,
just in that right mindset, or 6.
so you say Tepanito, I say Beer Garden over in the Germany Pavilion. They have the show going on. It's pretty entertaining. I feel like on a good day, on a perfect day, that would be a good place to visit.
Yeah, it's not the worst of ideas that we.
And they got brats, they got hot dogs, they got sauerkraut. Yeah.
But also, I'll say this, especially because our purported perfect day is during the Flower and Garden Festival. You still have food booths out there, so you can just kind of like munch all the way around World Showcase and get like your munchies full.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're out there, you're probably going to get pretty hungry. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a common side effect of like the perfect day, right? Because you're out there, you're moving, you're doing stuff, and that burns calories and makes you more hungry.
Yeah, you're right. No doubt about that.
Pat, I mean, these have been a lot of like my ideas for perfect days, and
I've thrown out some ideas.
You
I've
have
just seen,
but, like you haven't seen. You haven't like said what your like top choice is for like this state of mind that what I'm trying to create here.
I would say for me, I think I would like to be on Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Be up high in space. And, it is a little jerky, but I think it exhilarating enough to come off feeling pretty good after I get off that ride.
So obviously this is where different strains of things affect different people differently. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I think of Space Mountain, I get paranoid.
Okay.
Well, why? First of all, you're in the dark, so there's that, and second of all, because you're in the dark, you don't know where the fucking track is going unless you like.
No, you don't. That's what's cool about it.
Well, right, but like, there's only so many.
You're traveling through space, man.
Yeah, but there's only like so many surprises that like I can take in my late 30s at this point,
See, and then as you say that, I think of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like that's even a even more expressed feeling of going through space than that of Space Mountain, and it's a lot smoother.
One of the things that I'll say about that is you're right, and I think that I would not get as paranoid on that one. Like on Space Mountain, man, I also feel like once you get a little low enough, like the light is just light enough that you can start to see the track, and man, that freaks me out. Like I feel like I'm about to get decapitated. I do not get that general sense when writing Guardians. And it's also like much smoother, man. Like
way smoother.
Like I don't. My perfect day does not involve herky jerky anything at this point. Not at this age, anyway. Especially with a better option.
You're like an old man, so
Yeah, absolutely, I am, dude. And when I
I may be
stand up,
older than you, but I'm a lot more youthful.
this is absolutely true. No, I'm not disputing this at all. When I
Mhm.
stand up, every joint cracks, and I go, ugh. I can't be more old than that. Like,
Mhm.
like if I had to use today's nomenclature, I identify as a 73-year-old man. I do. It's what happens with arthritis.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, so Space Mountain, it's not a bad one. Certainly Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, is a better one
Mhm.
that's out there.
Mhm.
Is there like a show or anything like that that you'd want to see?
I generally don't like shows. I might fall asleep in those shows. That's the
Oh yeah.
problem.
I mean,
Yeah, I think I'd be out.
depending on how much fun you've had on April 20th, like that, I can understand needing to fall asleep.
Yeah, I'd be out. I mean, I think about all the shows, and I can't think of one except maybe. No, that Nemo show I hate, so I wouldn't even bother my time with it. I just hate it. Oh, Hoopty Doo review. Maybe that would be cool. Fried chicken, smoked chicken. Um, all you can drink, all you can eat, and a dinner show. That might be
So
interesting.
that would be, especially if you did not satiate your appetite when you were walking around Epcot.
Exactly.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for a show, man, I got to go with Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
I
Forgot
mean,
about that one.
God,
I'm thinking, yeah.
it's still funny. Like it's hilarious. Stadler and Waldorf up in the balcony, they're fucking great.
Yeah.
They're the greatest trolls of all time.
Did you know that, a little off topic, but did you know that there was supposed to be a Muppets land built and they never went through with it?
Mm-hmm. The Muppet Vision 3D was supposed to be like the gateway into Muppets Land or whatever, and they were gonna have a duplicate Muppet Great Movie Ride.
Great Movie Ride, yeah.
Instead of all the cast members or whatever, it was gonna be like fucking Fozzie Bear up there in the corner. Like, are you kidding me? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been pretty funny for sure. But
the one thing that I will say that I'm disappointed about with the Muppets attraction or Muppet Vision, there's not enough of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
What do you mean?
Look, as I've gotten older and everything, I happen to think that Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band is like just widely underserved as a character in a group and everything. I laughed so hard at the new Disney Plus show that came out that sadly has not been renewed. Yeah. But I talk about, like, this is the thing that drives me crazy about Disney. Once I get like excited or happy about something, they cancel that.
Yeah. You're talking about this show that was like kind of like The Office, but it was.
No, that's great too, because it has that one has the Swedish Chef singing rap.
What was this other one?
Delight. No, this one was strictly about Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band, and like the little kid from the It's So Raven or Raymond Simone's brother. Mm-hmm. He's in it as like a groupie basically.
Oh, okay.
And it follows the band trying to like get a record deal completed and stuff like that. But like, there's so many random like guest stars on that show, and it's fucking great. Like, what's Cheech and Chong are in it? For God's sake.
Well,
they've been living in the basement for like 10 years or something. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was so good. So good. There was an episode.
I suppose you watch that before you head to the parks on your perfect day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd want to like sync up with the vibes of the Electric of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. I mean, not Animals vibes. I don't want to be animal, but like Janice, the bass player. Like, that's the vibes I'm looking for. Like, hey man. Like, just kind of doing this number over here. Like, yeah, absolutely. Right. That's the exact kind of mood I want to be in. for my perfect day.
There you go.
So, and then
Yeah.
I don't think this conversation could be complete to cap off the perfect day, April 20th at Disney World. You have to go see fireworks, right?
For sure. But which ones did you go see?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Fantasmic.
Oh, why?
One, I haven't been there, and it's been a minute since I've
Yeah,
checked out
me too.
Fantasmic. For another, like every Disney show that's out there asks you to come to them, so to speak.
Mhm.
So like you have to stand around and wait and do all this shit to see the fireworks, and if you don't
Mhm.
fucking, start standing around at 6 o'clock, you'll never see the 10 o'clock fireworks because
Right.
it's just how it is. Like Fantastic, you get like a theater to go sit down in, and they bring the show to you. Like they change the scenery. There's fucking fire left and right.
Mhm.
The last time that I saw any glimpse of it was from Grand Destino Tower. We were pretty high up that night in the tower, so
Well,
we
it's
kind
up
of had
there.
this like downward angle
Mhm.
to look down
Mhm.
on it, and we were seeing the show from behind, but like see all the
Mhm.
smoke billowing from the dragon and stuff like that. I think his name is
Sure.
Puff, I believe is his
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
um so I don't know. I think that might be the one to go see, because the Magic Kingdom show is just a rehash of the old one,
Happily ever
right?
after, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they call
So
it now? Let's switch back to that.
I thought they went back to Wishes or something. I don't
No,
know.
I think it's happily ever after. I can't. It was something else, and then it came back, or
Yeah.
they changed it. And
And fuck if I know what Epcot's doing for a nighttime show these
what
days.
is the name of the Epcot show? I can't even.
They're supposed-
Harmony.
It was Harmonious. I think now it's Illuminous.
Illuminous. Yes, that's it. I saw that. That might be a good one to watch because there's a lot of stuff going on in that one.
There is, and it does.
I mean, the fireworks aren't shot too high, but there's a lot.
Oh no, man! They get pretty high up there.
Yeah.
No. Well, you know what? That does kind of transition into the recent news here that there's going to be a documentary about all of that on Disney Plus as well, and it's going to kind of coincide with the debut of not illustrious, Illuminous.
Illuminous.
So
it's the building of the new Epcot or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, they're walking. Imagineers are walking you through how they redesigned Epcot.
Oh, okay,
which I'm going to hate all that part, but
it might be interesting to see what the reasonings were for certain. Obviously, they're not going to talk about budget cuts or whatever. But speaking of walking around Epcot, I heard that Joe Rohde was walking around Epcot the other day.
I know, and I wish I was down there so I could like get on my knees and bow to him and say, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." I genuinely hope that what he's bringing to the table by doing these little seminars or whatever is like an independent attitude.
Oh, I'm sure it will be,
because like so much of what's going on, I think, bad with every group that you can imagine out there is like groupthink mentality. Doesn't matter what group that you are a part of. There just seems to be like if you have this attribute, you think this way about this thing. And like, I really, really want there to be independent thought. Sometimes like you need to get in like the right headspace and get like creative. You know what I mean? Like certain like prescriptions that I understand that can make you a little bit more creative. So
sure.
I hope that
for some people,
I hope that he can prescribe something for those Imagineers to be a little bit more creative, because what we've gotten here recently has, I mean, it's been a garden. It's been a vagina garden is what it's been.
Well, I mean, they did Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratatouille.
Guardians is good. Ratatouille's not to me.
I think Ratatouille's fine. It's not worth the long wait. I mean, the attraction itself is fine.
I liked it better when it was called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and I liked it even better when it was called Rise of the Resistance.
Well, I mean, that attraction was built before both of them, really, technically.
In France.
Yeah. But, I think that's just what dark rides are going to be. They're going to be trackless.
And I'm cool with that. I'm great.
Or a boat. On a boat or trackless.
What I'm not okay with, by the way, is one of these rumors that you have passed along. Yeah, we got a couple of them.
This is maybe the best rumor I've heard that's come out of all the rumors. I think this is
I'm still
really
saving
the cherry on top. Oh, you're talking about a different one.
I'm still saving that one. I want to save that one because I want to end the show out of my headspace. Okay. I want to stick to a little bit more chill vibes. And like one of the rumors that you passed along, and it did piss me off, won't lie, was a Moana attraction in Adventureland.
Oh, why'd that piss you off? Because it's Moana?
That's part one. Okay, enough's enough. We've had like 50 different things of Moana.
The type of attraction.
That is the more concerning.
So let me ask you a question. I've heard two. We've heard about the boat ride in Adventureland for Moana, but we've also heard about a volcano roller coaster. Have you heard that rumor before?
I don't know what God only knows what fucking IP they're going to drag into it.
No, Moana. Moana.
It is Moana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather do a volcano roller coaster if I had to pick one of the two. But that's because if you go on that section to that side of the park, the rides as they line up would be Jungle Cruise,
Boat,
Pirates,
Boat,
Moana, this boat attraction,
Boat,
and Splash Mountain.
Yeah. So if you remember, but here's the even funnier thing about it is if you remember the artwork from Animal Kingdom when they showed Moana, it was an attraction similar to Splash Mountain where they had the drop. They wouldn't do that, would they?
Any reason to replace Splash Mountain. And I get it to a degree, but still, like, come on, man. Like,
but could they put another attraction just like Splash Mountain right next to it? Or
it wouldn't shock me if they did, to be honest with you. Like this is the kind of shit that drives me crazy. But like, they're not thinking through even like the basic theme park thought process of, hey, let's diversify the type of ride that we're going to throw out.
But it would give you a nice adventure on your perfect day, though. The cruise down a mountainside.
Oh, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I would be a little bit too high up.
Yeah.
It feels like that's not. I don't want to like come crashing down. Like that's a very weird feeling to go from like so high to like that.
Sure.
It's very disconcerting. At least it is for me.
Could be.
It's not a feeling that I have very often, obviously, but because especially not recently since they closed the attraction. But we'll see how it feels when it opens back up.
For sure.
I'm sure they said summer of 2024.
Summer. Yeah.
I think that's September 31st, but
I think it's gonna be open summer, May.
You think it's gonna be open May?
May, yeah.
Well, that remains to be seen, obviously, and we will certainly bring you that news when it comes up. But yeah, I just can we get something different than Moana or a boat ride over in Magic Kingdom?
Well, it sounds like we are. We're gonna get. Well, what the rumors are is the cars and the villains. Right?
So, all right, cars. I said this last.
I mean, you're chilling down Route 66. I mean, what cooler vibe is that?
Yeah, and certainly
a classic car.
There is a little bit more acceptance of being chill out west than there is on the East Coast. It's still a little bit underground, that kind of relaxing culture, I would say. But like I guess like I'm cool with Cars being over there. I thought that the Cars attraction out in Disneyland was like a ripoff of Test Track, wasn't it?
It is. Yeah. Well, it's a similar ride vehicle, obviously. Yeah.
But
But
then, like, are they going to bring like not Test Track to Magic Kingdom now? Like,
yeah,
what else can
I
they
don't
do
know.
with it? You know,
Yeah.
like there's only so many things you can do with a movie like Cars.
Hmm.
You know, I don't even love fucking Toy Story anymore in there. Like
Oh, yeah.
uh, uh, I'm I voted last week. I want Buzz out of Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And I don't want this Woody attraction because we have a Toy Story land. And if you didn't want a shitty attraction, don't give us alien swirling saucers.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I get that. I get that. I get your point for sure. I mean, there's a Toy Story land. I mean, they got all this other stuff they could do if they wanted. Choose something else.
I mean, there's got to be some sort of look. If we have to do intellectual property, and I'm reticent to do this, but you know, if we had to do it, why couldn't you pull out Rescuers Down Under?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about it like a deep cut attraction, man, or a deep cut Disney. Like, was that one straight to video even, or did that one come out in theaters?
I don't know. I mean, that's old school.
That was my childhood, though. I remember watching that shit a lot as a kid. So I would be very cool with something like that. I would like for Disney to give some of us older school now, unfortunately, because I'm old and identify as a 73-year-old man. I'd love for them to give us something that would be like more our speed than something brand spanking new, just
Sure.
for the sake of tying it into whatever bullshit movie is coming out next.
For sure. Jungle Book. I mean, think about that. You got Baloo. He's a cool cat, right? And you got King Louie. Look at that dude. You know, talking about on
Talking
your
animals
perfect
freak me
day.
out, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's one thing if they're mice, because we got Mickey, we got the mice from Cinderella, which I've had nightmares about them before. Mother of God, what? They're mice who are as smart as people, and they sew. They have access to sharp pointy things? I want none of the. I want none of that smoke with those mice. Fuck that shit. So but I am more comfortable with the idea of mice talking than I am, fucking orangutan or a tiger,
Okay.
or a giant bear. Like, I'm sorry, I don't need to know that the bear is hungry because that's all the bear would say. I'm hungry. That's all he'd say.
Okay. I don't know.
By the way, with the Disney acquisition of Fox, does that make Grizzly Man a Disney movie?
It's at Fox?
I don't know. I don't remember who.
I don't know.
I just remember Werner Herzog. That's all you need to know. If you,
Yeah.
God,
Poor guy.
haunting voice. If there was a death spiral of the universe, he should be the narrator. That's all I'm saying.
Right, for sure.
If it's the Big Bang, though, I want Richard or David Attenborough. The guy from Planet Earth.
Right, yeah.
Holy shit, that is fucking cool as hell. That might be the best way to unwind after a long day at the parks. Like, just putting your feet up and like watching something like that, Planet Earth, on like a giant TV, or like Blue Planet where it's in the ocean and stuff like that. I mean, I've come out. Go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, have you seen the one that he did on Apple TV for the dinosaurs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Dinosaurs are so fucking cool. They really are. They're fucking giant lizards that, like, I don't know. It feels like, though, that by the end they were probably kind of like us. Or at least that's what I thought I remember from a documentary series back in the 90s. It was called Dinosaurs. There was a baby and a mama, and
I know what you're talking. That's a Disney thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I went with the joke there. there we go. So there's that. You finally fucking broke me. All right. All right. Let's get to this other rumor.
Yeah.
That you've thrown out there, just so I can get the rage going.
This is my favorite rumor. I think it's a culmination of every show you've had for the last month, maybe month and a half.
Sure.
You've talked a lot about IP,
Yep.
And how you hate it. And this newest rumor is that the attraction was labeled by the article we read.
But where? We have to tell people where.
Mickey Views. From Mickey Views.
So this is coming from Mickey Views. And where is this attraction to be located?
Animal Kingdom. It's going to be in the tropics of America or whatever. And it's going to be a carousel. Originally, the carousel was going to be Coco, which in Mexico. So you could technically put it in the tropicals of America. Well, now there's a picture floating around that he got that was at Imagineering or something, and it's called the IP carousel, and it has you could see somebody riding on Nemo. You can see somebody riding on. They're just different animals, different IP animals from all the movies.
Pat, I don't know how to properly express my rage right at this. I really don't. This is the cheapest, laziest, most bullshit idea I have ever heard in my entire fucking life. They put carousels outside of a goddamn Walmart in the middle of bumfuck. Pick a state. There's a carousel out in front of the Walmart. And you're going to tell me that because you slapped your goddamn Nemo on there and your goddamn Buzz Lightyear and
no
whatever
Buzz
the
Lightyear,
fuck
just
else.
animals. Just animals.
Oh, it's
an animal kingdom.
Excuse me.
It's an animal kingdom. It's just animals. Your mice. Maybe you could ride on one of those mice.
Oh, God. One of the terrifying mice that could kill me in my sleep? No, thanks. I don't need that smoke. No.
We could be on Bullseye from Toy Story.
What?
Surely he's going to be one. The horse. Bullseye.
Yeah. You'd have
I mean, you'd have to.
You'd have to fucking think. It's so I don't get it. I don't get what is this disconnect with me, man? I don't fucking get why this is popular at all, or why anyone thinks this is a good idea.
I think it's a terrible idea.
Oh, thank God! I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who thinks.
No, I think this is maybe of all the rumors I've heard, this is by far Coco. I thought was bad, and I think Indiana Jones is bad
for Animal Kingdom.
I thought, to be honest, I thought Moana was maybe the most appropriate because it has to do with the earth and environmentalism. Moana. So I could see that one, but Encanto, I have no clue how that makes sense. I have no clue how Indiana Jones makes sense, and Coco for the same reason. But this is even worse. This is by far worse. They're just animals. They're just animals from the Disney movies. I mean, I hope this doesn't turn out to be true.
Well, your article also cited, or the one that from Mickey Views cited Lou Mongolo or Mangello or however you say his name. I'm going to be dismissive about the top guy in Disney podcasting, probably. So I think that if he says it, it's probably true because he's probably seen it and taken photos with it and taken a selfie with it and been like, oh my God, I'm getting paid by Disney. So I kind of feel like that lends credibility to it. And I want you to understand, Pat, the rage that you might feel about this attraction is what I feel every fucking time. Every fucking time that they announce a new anything at Disney these days. That's how I'm left baffled by it. Like this is like my brain is on overload right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't with it. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I just the way I feel about it, I think it's stupid. I probably won't go. Obviously, I'm not going to go on a carousel. I mean,
Oh, thank
I haven't
God.
been on. I haven't been on the. Yeah, I'm trying to think. The last time I was on a carousel, it's probably been a couple of years.
I gotta think that you were.
It was at Walt Disney World in Magic Kingdom, where a carousel belongs.
Yeah, and I gotta think that you were riding it with Charlotte for a sweet
For
father
sure.
and daughter moment. You know,
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to express that I'm not trying to take those moments away from families. Like,
No,
that's not at
that's what
all what
Magic
I'm trying
Kingdom's
to
for.
do. I want Disney to be the standard that it once was. And it's not the standard when it comes out with the fucking carousel that has a bunch of shitty animal characters on it. It's the least thoughtful and the cheapest possible attraction. And that's why they purportedly closed Dino Land, because people were getting pissy about, oh, the Route 66 thing feels cheap. You know, I mean, that's what they said about Dino Land. And we're going to replace it with that?
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
That's fucking insane, man.
It's
It
crazy.
really is. Like, okay. Let me try to move on. Like, I don't know that I can do it. Pat, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is a dumb question, probably.
Okay.
But one thing that I've noticed when I'm perusing Instagram or TikTok or any of the other various social medias that, you know, at Cynics on Disney or at Cynical Disney participates in, I've noticed that like a lot of moms and women and so on and so forth, they get to come down and have like a mom's trip
Sure.
to
Yeah.
Disney. And I kind of feel like there's enough Disney dudes out there. Do you think that there's enough Disney dudes out there that you could justify like a bros trip to Disney World?
Oh, for sure. I mean, obviously, you might have some people want to make fun of you, but I mean, I think that you could definitely,
including me, by the way. I'm just full disclosure. I will make fun of myself for this. So, you know,
yeah, I think you could easily have a dude's weekend, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do that, you know, doesn't have to, you're not meeting, there's a lot more stuff to do at Disney World than meet characters. And I mean, there's all kinds of bars, there's all kinds of food. I
mean, tell you
yeah.
what then, for a dude's trip, a Disney Bros trip, what bar are you going to?
I think you go to the boardwalk. I think you go to Abracadab Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because there's a lot of stuff to do on the boardwalk. So I mean, why wouldn't that be a place that you go?
The only reason that I can think of would be difficulty getting there, because like I know that when I'm with my bros, we need an Uber or designated driver, and getting around Disney property, even with all the free transportation options, is not always the easiest thing in the world to do if you're not in your own personal car.
Oh, so, yeah, for sure.
So, and plus, like to get into, you can't say that you're just.
Well, Bobby, if I'm with you, I'm not going to have a car. So
that's why you rely on me to bring the car. I mean, the last time that we got real high up in Grand Casino Tower, I had to drive us over there. I mean, you know, so I'm used to it by now. Uberchins, I believe.
Yeah,
that is what I call it. So
I stayed at Pop Century too. So.
Yeah, you did. That was the first time I saw that.
I don't suggest that as the resort that you choose. I mean, of all the resorts you would choose for a bro weekend, what would you pick? I mean, a couple come to mind for me.
So I would go with Yacht Club, because that seems more masculine than the Beach Club. I feel like, but you get all the same shit basically, you know. So a little bit more manly decor. I feel like. Okay. I would also throw out something like Old Key West. And these are obviously my personal preferences or whatever.
For sure.
But, if you're having kind of a bros weekend, yeah, you're going to hit the theme parks or whatever, right? But like, I think that you're also going to try to do some other shit that, doesn't necessarily rely or mean that you need a bus to get there or whatever. So whatever concerns that you might have for busing and stuff like that, like I think that goes all out the window for a dude's weekend like that. I would also say something like going out boating like we've done.
Yeah.
That's something that you can do, or play golf. As a annual pass holder, I get a discount. I know you don't golf. I'm gonna drag Steve.
I can drive around though if they got a cart.
They do,
Yeah.
and they sell cigars. So
that's all I need: drinks and cigars. That'd be good.
There you go. God knows I haven't smoked one of those in a long, long time. Who am I kidding? I've smoked recently, but so I think that you could do something like that too. That wouldn't necessarily be 100% like Disney characters and all that kind of shit. I don't think that's like necessarily something that I'm looking for in a Disney dude's trip. I guess like for me, I was thinking about the bar or whatever that I would go to. If I needed to do something subtle, I would go someplace like Jock Lindsay's.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that
that's a cool place.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is a dude's movie too. Like, yeah, it's kind of for everybody. Like, don't get me wrong, but come on, everybody's wanted to get the whip in the fedora and everything like that, right?
For sure. And also, you got down there, you got the House of Blues, right? That's still down there. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to hit that place up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a sports bar not far from there, City Walk. That's over there, and they have, I believe, the largest television screen in.
Just don't plan on watching it during Super Bowl.
Yeah, because then you'd have to pay. Because fuck you. That's why. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to come here and watch the game? Oh, too bad. It's going to cost you $50 to just walk in the door.
Yeah, I think Disney Springs would be definitely hit that up. I mean, obviously not to shop, but just to drink and eat for sure.
Yeah. And if you do happen to need,
that's why you could stay at Saratoga Springs too. Because you could take a boat over there.
That's true.
But getting around on an Uber on Disney properties, that's how we've always done it. So unless I'm riding with you, I mean, we're taking an Uber, and it's pretty easy. And I've been really shit faced at like Trader Sam's,
sure,
and just got an Uber and got back to my room.
Now you couldn't like get me into a minivan with a gun if it's a bros
no,
weekend,
we're not doing that on a guy's weekend. Are you kidding me?
No.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to go eat at a princess character meal too while you're at
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Where? All right.
Ooh.
I'm thinking though. With speaking of a dining experience, where are we eating?
Yachtsman.
Great choice.
Yeah. Yachtsman
is exactly into the vibe that I was going for with the rooms.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's steak, wine, beer. What else do you need? Potatoes.
I mean, nothing really.
I don't. I wouldn't go. There's a lot of good places to eat, but that's just like, that's right up a guy's weekend right there.
One place that I would have said, but now won't because they changed the menu, would have been Topolino.
Topolino. Yeah.
Because they
you don't want the cauliflower steak.
No, I don't. I want the goddamn veal chop that's on a bone spit. That's what I want.
Damn right. That's exactly what you want. They don't have it anymore. I mean, I haven't looked at their menu. Maybe they put it back on there. I don't know. But that's some bullshit. I just don't get it. It just takes the restaurant down a couple notches.
That's why it's not number one. Like I can't think of a better one than Yachtsman, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Yachtsman.
I would,
like
you got.
I can't think of a better one either.
Got to go with a steakhouse. And like I've tried several of them, like for the money and for the quality and for the experience and everything like that.
Yeah,
like, you got to go with Yachtsman.
For
STK
sure.
is not an option. Just so we're on the same.
No,
page.
no way. Didn't you and Steve eat there?
Yes, we did. And
Yeah. Was just the two of you, or was Amanda?
No,
with
Amanda
you?
was with us.
Yeah, okay.
That was funny. It was hilarious, but and it was also like the worst. It wasn't the worst meal I've had on Disney property, but it was one of the weirdest, not good experiences that I've ever had while trying to eat. Because there's like there's all this club music going on, and
I couldn't stand that.
Yeah, I'm fucking like.
Why did you guys pick that? Who picked that? You?
I did, but I kind of did it as a joke, and then we couldn't think of a better option. Like
that's terrible.
Because I also suggested jokingly, why not do T-Rex or something like that, and that got shut the fuck down. So, you know, I definitely needed to have some sort of content-driven meal experience, and that, you know what, it did give me that.
Another place I would go to eat, maybe for lunch, is Geyser Point. I think that's a cool place.
That is a good one. And actually, Fort Wilderness or Wilderness Lodge rather would be a pretty good resort too for
sure.
like a guy's weekend, because again, it's off the beaten path. You don't have to see and hear all the theme park shit. You have pretty easy access to go if you want to, and it's supposedly way more manly to be all like wildernessy and stuff. And
oh yeah, 100%.
I like my beard trimmed and my air conditioning, so I don't get this whole wilderness experience.
I mean, I don't like my beard trimmed, as you can see.
I made sure to trim it up and line it up real nice so that I could look good for the camera, or as I can for the camera anyway. So, Patrick.
Yep.
You're the CFO of NotClub33.com, the sponsor of this here podcast. Was there anything in particular that you would like to promote? Perhaps some sort of rather quick dining review of something?
Yeah, so I got a couple in the pipeline. The 3-minute dining reviews. We're just waiting to release them just when maybe when we don't have a show available for the Notcast or whatnot. So I got Gico, I got Geyser Point, I got the Yachtsman, I got I'm working on Citricos, which you and I ate at.
Sure.
So I got a bunch of them. I think there's like, all in total, there's going to be like 8 more coming out. So, yeah, they're coming. We'll just in the summertime, we'll probably go on some type of hiatus with the Notcast, usually like a week or so. So that's when we'll start dropping them in for sure.
Awesome. Looking forward to that sort of summer content. Hey guys, usually this is where I would turn it over to my lovely wife and say, make sure that you follow us on social media at Cynics on Disney. Everywhere except for Facebook and Twitter, that you can find us at Cynical Disney. So all the other ones like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, I think on Threads. I don't know what Threads is. Do you know what Threads is?
No, I think Facebook owns Threads. I think it's just like a competition with Twitter.
It's stupid because Facebook was the competition with Twitter. This is dumb. Okay.
Hey, you're Cynical Disney. What was your tagline for the old school Cynical Disney?
I'm all beers.
Yes. There you go. That was cool.
Yes. And I used to be all beers. Not anymore these days. I've taken to other sorts of things to help expand my mind, shall we say.
Haven't noticed.
Yeah. I don't think I've given off anything that would suggest otherwise. But anyway, also, guys, make sure that you are subscribed to this here YouTube channel, to the podcast feed on whatever podcast platform that you are listening to us on. That would be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, whatever you're listening to us on. Make sure that you're subscribed and that you give us a rating and a review. And if you're on YouTube, drop us a comment, because I promise you, I respond to every single one of the comments here on this show. I love them. I keep them coming, guys. They are fantastic. So, I guess that kind of wraps it up for this here perfect day of a show. So, you know what? Probably on Saturday, I'll end up just dealing with the weeds, I guess. But, you know. Anywho, until next time, guys, have yourselves a magical fucking day.